There are umpteen variations of the famous quote, "As a man thinketh, so is he." Many attribute the quote to best-selling authors, but King Solomon said it in Proverbs 23:7 long before any author. Welcome to a life nevermore, a public diary for private pain. In this video, I will share an example of a messed-up mind from one of my childhood experiences. But before I share the mental revelation with you, remember to subscribe to the channel. Here goes the story. I used to fight a lot as a child. I fought so much that I planned every move to devour my opponents. I covered all angles, their strength, height, speed, and even to the point where if the child had breakfast to assess their strength and the likelihood of the outcome, should a fight ensue, I planned every way to ensure I was the winner. I remember I had one rule in fighting: I would never be the perpetrator. I would never hit first or mess with anyone first, but if you messed with me, I would always be ready. I was so good at fighting that I never lost one, and I would also fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Thankfully, we didn't use weapons and life-threatening objects back then. After many fights, I would go home as if nothing had happened, because I knew what I would experience at home if I got into any more fights. Another time, I will tell you about the experience in which one of my opponents showed up with her father at my gate with her mouth busted and blood all over her clothes. But for now, let's focus on the mental truth I learned through fighting. At the same primary school I attended, I also had a left-handed cousin who was a good fighter. We never fought each other because, of course, we were cousins. One day, I was fighting someone, and my cousin and I fell out for some reason. My cousin said she would wait for me at the post office after school that afternoon, and sure enough, she did. I was walking with a neighborhood friend who was a little younger than me, and right there at the post office, I got my ass whipped. I didn't even try to retaliate. I just took the whooping and on my way home with my friend, I told her not to tell anyone. If you think I didn't fight back because she was my cousin or because I did something wrong, you are mistaken. I didn't defend myself because left-handed people were placed in a bracket by themselves back then. It was almost as if they had superpowers. So, the only reason I didn't challenge my cousin was because her left hand was her dominant hand, and in my mind, that alone meant she was a better fighter than me. Because of what I believed in my mind, I could not win. I didn't even try. A few years later, I looked back and realized that I could have challenged, and even won the fight with my cousin. But this thinking was futile, because I didn't try, and there was no telling what the outcome would be. I was restricted by what my mind told me, so I lost the fight automatically. What is your mind telling you today? Examine the false notion in your mind and at least try to go after what you want. Trust me, it isn't any use looking back many years later and coming to the end of your life only to wish that you could have at least tried. You only lose when you don't try. Thanks for watching A Life Nevermore, a public diary for private pain. For more engaging content, remember to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, watch the video where I shared a story about how my neighbor subtly dissed my home. Bye for now.